What's up, fanatics? Happy hump day to you guys. I'm back and I'm super excited today, man. So, thinking about horror movies, man, they've been around for decades. They've been around for centuries. They've been around for a very long time. And I've noticed in horror there's a lot. They can get lost in the shuffle. And there's a lot of obvious horror movies, a lot of great horror movies that people talk about all the time. The Halloweens, the Friday the 13th, the Psycho, things like that. Those are the classics. But what I want to talk about in this video and in my next video, I want to count down the top 20 horror movies that you have probably never seen, maybe never even heard of. Hopefully, I can introduce some new horror to you guys that will bring you as much entertainment as it's brought me. So, let's get started. Here, I'm only going to do for this video. I'm going to do 20 to 11, and then my next video will be my top 10. Because I don't want to keep it too long. I want to keep you guys interested and make it short and sweet. But I want to get right into it. So, coming in number 20, Peeping Tom. Peeping Tom came out in 1960. Here's the awesome thing about Peeping Tom. It predates all the slashers. It was a slasher movie. It predates Black Christmas, which came out in 72. It predates Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which came out in 74. It predates Halloween. It predates Friday the 13th. It predates all these well-known slashers. And one of the things that it did that was used in Black Christmas and then perfected and used in a much grander scale in Halloween was it's the very first movie to ever show the camera from the perspective of the killer. Peeping Tom is about this guy who's obsessed with with filming, but he's got a crazy side to him. Not going to give too much into it. You know it's a slasher in the 60s. So a lot of the things you see in this movie, you'll see those same tropes in other movies. This laid the groundwork, and it's unfortunate it doesn't get nearly as much praise as it should, because it is one of the best slashers ever made. It kind of got overlooked by Psycho. It kind of got overlooked by things that came later, and somehow just got lost in the shuffle. But if you love slasher movies and you want to see a really good one, Peeping Tom is one of the best. If you have seen it, leave a comment and let me know what you guys think, because I really think it should get more praise than it does. But this is my number 20 for a horror movie that you probably have never heard of. Coming in at number 19, Intruder. Intruder came out in 1989. It starred Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell. The thing about this movie is it's very corny. It's a very corny, fun slasher. You might be thinking, how can a slasher be fun? Us horror fans, we know there's light-hearted versions of slashers, and then there's the harder, harsher, more gritty stuff. This is one of the lighter ones, but I caught this somewhat recently for my collection. 2 years ago, I went to Chicago, and I go to there's a company called Synapse Films that does great work on the restoring their DVDs, and I went to their table. And every year I go there, I buy something from their table. And the guy was just like, man, if you haven't seen the movie yet, you got to check it out. I bought it that day, went home, so I got back to Virginia Beach, checked it out, and I fell in love instantly. I watch it probably twice a year. I have watched it twice a year for these past couple of years. I really, really enjoy it, and it's I'm kind of ashamed that it took me this long to really find out about it. But the premise is pretty silly. It's just a madman going crazy in a supermarket, and you can imagine the kind of instruments that he uses to kill people in. But it's just an awesome, fun slasher film. So coming in at number 18, we have 976 Evil. 976 Evil came out in 1988. The awesome thing about this one is it was directed by Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger himself, and it was based off of a hotline, 976 Evil, not a real hotline, but in the movie. And this one guy calls, and it's supposed to grant this power to the caller if they take it, and he calls and he gets it, and he'd been picked on leading up to all this. So imagine a person who was picked on with all you can have power, and what's going to happen. So it's a pretty it was a really, it had some scary elements to it. It was really good. Robert Englund, I wish he would have directed more movies, because it was good. It had some really freaky scenes to it that even for that time were a little unnerving. So if you haven't seen 976 Evil, put that one on your list to check that one out, and let me know what you guys think, of course, when you see it. So there's my number 18. Coming to number 17, Henry, Portrait of a Killer. This one came out in 1990, and it stars Michael Rooker from Walking Dead and a bunch of other, Guardians of the Galaxy, and a bunch of other things he's done. Phenomenal actor. This is actually based off of Henry Lee Lucas, the serial killer. Now, the thing about Henry Lee Lucas is it's that nobody knows how many people he killed. He claimed to kill 200 plus, but they can't. There's no documentation to find that. So he was a very narcissistic serial killer that wanted to like brag about what he did, but a lot of his stuff is not confirmed. So we have no way of knowing what he actually did, if he even, I mean, he killed people, but there's no way of knowing. They have not confirmed the number that he said he killed. But this movie is unsettling. This movie is very gritty, very, very deep, very, very dark, very, very in your face, very, very brutal, and it's a tough watch. It's a must watch for a horror fan, but it's a tough watch. It's very uncomfortable, and he's got a right hand man named Otis, and Otis may be even more freakier than he is. It's just a very, very, all I can say is a very uncomfortable movie. That's my number 17. Coming in at number 16, we have The Guardian. The Guardian came out in 1990. The Guardian was directed by William Friedkin, same man that directed The Exorcist. So I found The Guardian back in the Hollywood video days. Show my age a little bit, but back in the Hollywood video days, I went and found it. This movie's about a woman that is a babysitter, but she's got more than meets the eye to her, and she's got a very sinister plan for why she is a babysitter. And it's as a parent, for any parent, is a terrifying concept, because it's already stressful enough to find a babysitter for your child, and then to have your ability to take that time to trust that person and build that trust, it takes some time. So this movie hits on emotional levels. It hits on more levels than just what you see with your eyes, based on where you are in your life. But I really like this movie. If you have not seen it, that's my number 16. Number 15, Prince of Darkness, 1987. This was John Carpenter directed this one, and it starred Samuel Loomis' character, Donald Pleasance. Not Samuel Loomis' character, but the person that played Samuel Loomis, Donald Pleasance. There was this canister that was found, and it seemed to coincide with some crazy happenings that are going on in the area. What it's signifying is the coming of the devil, and it's a really freaky movie. If you have not seen Prince of Darkness, that's my number 15. Check that one out. Coming in at number 14, Monkey Shines. Monkey Shines came out in 1988, and that's directed by George A. Romero from Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. And this movie is pretty intense. So there's a runner. He's a long time runner. He goes off for a run one day. He gets hit by a car, ends up having an operation, or ends up losing feeling from the neck down. So there's this woman that trains monkeys to help quadriplegics for that particular reason, to help give them get them food or just do whatever they need. The problem was one of the runner's friends was injecting human memory cells into a monkey, and donated that monkey to the woman to train to care for his friend. And it ends up having a psychological hold on the man, and ends up acting out the man's inner feelings. So any anger he has towards a person comes out from the monkey. It is a really it's just such a unique and a well thought out concept. So if you haven't seen that one, definitely check that one out. It's definitely one of my favorites. Coming in at number 13, Frailty. Frailty is 2001, starring a young, not young, but a younger Matthew McConaughey, and it follows him and his brother, who their dad says that he's seen visions from God, and God is showing him demons, and it is his job to kill demons. Now he gets a list of who he calls demons, and these demons are real people. So he begins to kill real people, and it becomes, one of the sons are like, something's wrong with Dad. This isn't, we got to tell somebody this isn't, blah blah blah. The other one's like, that's our father. We can't say anything. We can't turn our backs on him. So it goes. It's a pretty deep. What should you do in that scenario situation? So that one is my number 13, and I absolutely love that movie. Coming in at number 12, Behind the Mask, came out in 2005. Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. So this was like a homage to horror movies, but it also took its own trek. They were following a guy named Leslie Vernon, who had a film crew, follow him, and he told them that he was the next Freddy Krueger, the next Michael Myers, the next guy to take on this legacy. And he's such a light-hearted, just kind of quirky guy. And he's very charismatic, but he's got another side to him that shows up later on in the movie. This one is one of my personal favorites, and if you have not seen this, check this out immediately. My last for this list, coming in at number 11, The Burning, 1981. The Burning is a camp slasher movie before Friday the 13th. So Friday the 13th was not the first camp slasher, and The Burning was it has some really, really awesome kills. So there's a camp counselor named Cropsey. The kids were trying to play a trick on him. The trick ended up leading to his campsite, his cabin, and him being burnt. And he comes back for revenge. This movie has, like I said before, has some awesome kills, and it's just one of those fun slasher films that you can just watch countless times. So guys, that is my top, my between 20 to 11 of my top 20, the first part of my top 20 horror movies you probably have never seen. If you've seen these, let me know. If you haven't seen them, I hope you check some of them out. If you're new to the channel, this is what I do. Every Wednesday, every Sunday, I talk horror. I'm a horror author as well. Written a book series called The Glads, hence the name of the channel. You can find out more about that on my website, theglads.com, or you go to Amazon and just search it. Anyways, though, this is what I do. If you're new here, leave a like, subscribe. If you want to see more horror, more content, definitely subscribe, share it. Anyone you know wants that is a horror fan, share it with them and let them help me build this channel up, because I love talking horror. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Thank you guys for tuning in with me today, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. All right, have a good week.